Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita chapter summary series. And today we will be discussing the summary of chapter 3. As usual, let's keep it interactive. What is the title of chapter 3 Bhagavad Gita as it is?
Karma
Please
I think
Yoga.
it is about
put on the
karma.
chat
It is
the
about
exact
karma.
what is the exact title? Yes, it is about
Karma
karma.
yoga.
Karma
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 Yoga.
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 Beautiful. Very
Uh,
nice. Karma Yoga. Okay, guys. What is the meaning of karma for a layman?
It's like
we
One
should
of his
perform our
colleague from
duties.
Europe joins this class and he asks, what is karma? What you guys will answer?
action.
Actions.
We
Okay.
should
What else?
perform our duties.
Performing duties, actions. Anything else?
It's daily activities. Daily, day
Daily
to day, whatever we
activities,
do.
day-to-day activities. Okay. So karma means activities, doing our duties, performing duties. Okay. What is the word yoga mean?
Pardon?
Sorry.
Pardon? Question? Repeat,
What is
please.
so the name of the chapter is Karma Yoga. We understood what's karma. What is yoga? What
Practicing?
is meaning of the word yoga?
Practicing?
Practicing. Okay. What else?
Connection,
Sorry.
connection.
Connection. Okay. Connection. What else? Yoga teachers on the group. What is the meaning of the word yoga?
Soul
Connected
and
to
mind
meditate.
connection.
Yes, Jayesh Prabhu. Yes, body and mind connection, Indra Mataji. What about Jayesh Prabhu? What did he say? I missed what you said.
Meditation. Meditation.
Meditation. Okay. Very nice.
Joining, connecting,
Joining.
joining. You
Here's our yoga teacher. Joining. Beautiful. Very nice. Connection, joining, bridge, union. Okay, that's yoga. Joining with what? Connection with what? Union with what? Bridge with what?
With the super soul. Super soul. With the
Super
super soul.
soul. Super soul, Lord, divinity, higher power, universe. Okay, guys. Very nice. All right. Okay. So that's karma and that's yoga. Okay. So that's the breakdown of the title of this chapter 3, Karma Yoga. So karma yoga means connecting to God or divinity by your activities. Yoga, connection, karma, activities. Easy. Now, today, as always, we will split this chapter again. Today, we will split it into 6 topics. Okay, it's not a very big chapter, but we are just making small topics to understand better. Okay, and as always, we'll have an acronym. Okay, so today's acronym, because it is chapter 3, so today's acronym is THREES, threes. Okay, so the first alphabet T stands for Tyaga or renunciation. Okay. H stands for Humbug. Humbug means pretender, fake. Okay. R stands for Rungs. Rungs means what? Rungs means the steps on a
Ladder.
ladder. The steps on a ladder. So suppose there is a ladder and there are some steps on it. So they are called as rungs. Okay. E stands for exemplary. Somebody who is an ideal example. Then the second E stands for eternal enemy. Who is our eternal enemy? He has been following us forever. And S stands for spiritual knowledge. Okay, we'll thank you for that, but we'll see who is it. Okay. So THREES, Tyaga, Humbug, Rungs, exemplary, eternal enemy, and spiritual knowledge for those taking notes. Okay, let's see one by one. Okay. The first one, Tyaga or renunciation. What is Tyaga? What is renunciation? Layman language? What do you think? What does it come into our
Not
mind
being
when we
attached.
not being
Sacrificing.
attached, sacrificing? When I use the word
Detachment.
Tyaga, renunciation, what picture comes into your mind?
Sannyas going to Himalayas.
Sannyas, going to the forest, going to the mountain.
Detachment.
Detachment. So, Tyaga or renunciation means that leaving everything, quitting everything, okay? Maybe your possessions, your worldly activities, and going to a secluded place, okay? And disconnecting from everyone and everything, okay? Going to a place where there is no social life, no social media, okay? Don't worry, we are not recommending this. We said Bhagavad Gita is a book of practical application, and we know that today's basic necessities are not just food, clothing, and shelter, but also Wi Fi and social media. So please don't exit the meeting. We are not asking you to renounce in that way. Yes. Bhagavad Gita, we said, is an amazing book. It's different from all other books. Why? Because it doesn't teach us the art of leaving, but it teaches us the art of living. Okay. In fact, a so-called renunciate who gives up everything externally, okay, and leaves for a secluded place, but his mind still continues to linger on those things which he has externally given up or renounced, is called a humbug, a pretender. This kind of renunciation is called as fake renunciation or Phalgu Vairagya. Okay. So, what is of true renunciation or Tyaga as per Bhagavad Gita? It is not giving up the ownership, but the ownership mentality. Mhm. क्या बोला क्या बोला क्या बोला? What do you mean? Okay, it means that you don't actually give up your possessions, but you get convinced that I am not the owner but the custodian of these possessions which are temporarily awarded to me. For example, my house, my car, my jewelry, my family, all these titles, the C titles that I have, my degrees, again C, A, C, S, and all of that. Then all these skills that I have, and even my time, everything that belongs to me is actually not mine, but is actually temporary. We know for a fact that ultimately everything is taken away from us either during this life or at the end of life. During this life, we have already experienced, we have lost so many people, so many things, so many skills, abilities with age. Yeah. So we know how things are not ours. If it was ours, why did we lose it? Why was it taken away from us? Or if you have not experienced that, then at least we have seen that at the end of the life, at the time of death, nobody took anything or anyone along with them, right? So ultimately, you're going to leave everything over here. So we need to understand that everything and everyone that we belongs to us, we are not the owners of these, but we are just the custodians or trustees or let's say power of attorney holders. Okay. So you may say, okay, this sounds theoretically correct. It makes sense, but how to actually understand it practically? So, in order to understand something practically, let's take a practical example. Okay, we'll take two examples. The first one is a real life example. So, when I was moving from Dubai to Singapore for good, so there was a car. Hmm. That car was of no use to me because I couldn't take it to Singapore with me. So, what I had to do is I had to give the power of attorney to Yasha, okay, for that car. Now that's full power of attorney, which means that she can use it like her own car. She can sell the car. She can transfer it to her own name. She can transfer it to somebody else's name. She can do anything like as if it's her own car. Okay. So now what happens is that after I move, okay, Yasha starts to use that car for her personal uses, for dropping her kids to school, for going to her yoga studio, other private purposes. Okay. But let's say for a few days, me, myself, or one of my family members visits Dubai. Okay. And then I call Yasha. Yasha, hey, my sister is coming to Dubai. Can you give the car to her for a few days? And Yasha says, sorry, I cannot. I already planned a trip to Salala for a week with my family and friends, and I'm gonna take your car, which is now my car. So, what would you think of Yasha in this case? Would you call her selfish? Is this correct? Sorry, Yasha, this is just example. In reality, guys, Yasha didn't use my car at all. Instead, she invested her time and money to help me sell the car in my absence. So, similarly, we all are selfish when we use the possessions for our own sense gratification and not as per the direction of the Lord, the real owner, the one who has actually awarded us these things. Does that make sense? Yeah. Let's take another example, my favorite one. Whenever somebody joins a new job, what happens is that they give on the first day a new laptop, a new phone, and depending on the designation, maybe sometimes even a house or a car or other things. Okay. So now, if I start to use this laptop and phone that I get for official business purposes, I use this to help the business grow. Okay, so what will happen is I will be awarded more facilities, okay, to help the business grow. Okay, I will be maybe given previously maybe I was given economy class flights, now I'll be given business class, now I'll be giving apartment, a servant, and so on and so forth, right? But if I start to use this phone and laptop, which was given to me on the first day of my job for my own personal purposes only, and I don't use it for business purposes, what will happen? It will be taken away from me, right? So, similarly, there is a hack now. If you want to increase your temporary possessions, use it for the service of the true owner and not for your own personal gratification. ठीक है. When I heard this, it made so much sense to me. But I was not at the level where I could practically give up the ownership mentality and start acting like a trustee or a POA holder for everything that so called belonged to me, specifically when it comes to family and friends. How can I earn and live without any personal motivation? You tell me I go to a job, but then I think that, oh, this salary is not mine. You tell me I buy an apartment and I think, oh, this apartment is not mine. Just do this overnight, right? It's time. Okay, now it's all making sense because now we are listening to it. Easy said than done. But to put into practice, do help me with that. You told me that Bhagavad Gita is a book that is for you and me, but I am not at that level. So what do we do? Good. Krishna understands that everyone is not at the same level. And therefore, he goes to part 3 of this chapter where he explains the rungs. The rungs means the steps of the ladder. Different people are on different steps of this ladder. Okay. So, the first step, actually, these are the type of people who have not even begun to climb the ladder. They are still at the bottom, not even on the first step. Okay. So who are these people? These people are the materialistic people, called as the karmis. Okay. These people fully operate on the fundamental of me and mine. Okay. Mera kya. Okay. Who can go to any extent. Okay. Although temporary gains, but they think it's for their personal gain. They are okay to even exploit others for their own personal, private sense enjoyment. Okay, let's again go back to the car example. So, suppose if there is a person who was given the POA of the car, okay, and he starts to enjoy this car for his personal sense gratification or maybe for his family. So, me and mine, okay. And even if it means that the real owner or the family of the real owner had to suffer and go by public transport or go walking in the heat because that car was not given when it was needed. Okay. So these are the type of karmis which we see around our in our environment every day. Most of the world operates on that fundamental, me and mine, mera kya. Okay. Then the next set of people, they are on the first step of the ladder. Who are they? They are called as karma kandis. Okay. Who are the karma kandis? Okay. These are the people who also try to gain things for their personal enjoyment. But what difference amongst karmis and karma kandis is that they do this kind of the approach that the karma kandis follow is to scriptural injunctions. Okay. So try things for themselves, but they do it via via methods which are recommended in the Vedas, in the scriptures. Sukha sampati ghar aave, kashta mite tan ka. They go, they acknowledge there is a higher power. But what do they do after going there? Can you award me this? Can I get this? Can I get 16 मिलेगा? उसके बाद फिर 16 सोमवार से पहले वो पति नहीं चाहिए, वो अलग बात है. Okay. So these are the karma kandis. Again, let's put them on the car example. So the car example, these guys got the power of attorney. Okay, and then what they do, the family, the family of the real owner comes in, and they don't say, "Oh, I don't care. This is my car. I don't. You want to suffer? You suffer. I will use it for my." What they do is, okay, let me please the family of the car owner. So maybe tomorrow that car owner might even give the apartment to me, okay, for my private use. So their agenda is again me and mine, okay, but through the scriptural injunctions by pleasing the demigods. Okay. Then part three, then on the ladder, there are another set of people. Now these set of people are higher than the karma kandis. Why? Because they have enjoyed all of this. Okay. 16 samvar rakha pati mila, but realize it doesn't give me happiness. Okay. So what happens after that is that these people, they understand that this all of this is not mine. Okay. And everything is gonna be taken away. I'm just the custodian, I'm not the real owner. All of this they understand. But what happens is that they still have some kind of an attachment. Okay. So they understand everything theoretically, that this is not me and mine. This concept is all illusory, and everything doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the higher owner. But still, they have some kind of an attachment. Again, taking the car example, I understand that I should use the car only as per the real owner's needs and not for my personal enjoyment. But once in a while, it's okay. I can go for a drive. I can use this car for a drive. What's wrong in that? So that they are the sakam karma yogis. They still have some kind of attachment, sakam. Okay. And then nishkam karma yogis. These yogis are people who try to connect to the Lord by their activities without any desire for personal sense gratification. They are beyond the concept of me and mine, and they will use only the basic necessities to keep the body and soul together, and rest everything else they will use it for the service of the true owner, which Yasha actually did. Okay, even her time and energy she used it for selling the car. Okay. So this is how it works. So this was the steps of people, the rungs they are on, different rungs. Okay, the people who are on different rungs. Okay, and then THREE. Okay, so first E stands for exemplary. Okay, so now what does exemplary means? Exemplary means a perfect example. Okay, so what happens over here? Arjuna says, even I don't want to enjoy the kingdom. So can I quit the fight? Krishna has already told Arjuna the art of living and not leaving, be in the world without actually being off it. Okay, but Arjuna gives another prompt to Krishna. Okay, normally when we go to a guru, hmm, we want them to answer what we are already decided to do, huh? And keep asking them again and again till he answers what we want to listen to, right? Don't we do that? But a true guru will tell you the truth. Hmm. So the true guru will not just tell you what you want to hear. Hmm. So Krishna explains that even when someone is on the topmost level of the ladder, they still continue to work for setting an example. Even the Nishkam Karma yogis who are beyond the concept of me and mine, they will still continue to work. They although they are completely renounced, but still they continue to work. Why? Because they want to set an example for others. Hmm. So sometimes what will happen is, sometimes somebody will wrongly think that on a I am on the Nishkam Karma Yogi rung of the ladder, and then will try to behave in that fashion when actually he is not. So and if the Nishkam Karma Yogis quit everything, they don't work, so these people will also think, oh, I am at that level, I should also not work. Therefore, to protect them, okay, who might be misled, the Nishkam Karma yogis continue to work. They don't give up. They still continue to work. They do their activities. So that's the exemplary part of it. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, no, don't give up. Continue to do your duties. Then comes E. E is our eternal enemy. Who is our eternal enemy? Somebody said mind. Any other guesses? What could be? Who could be our eternal enemy? This eternal enemy follows us everywhere that we go.
Maya?
Senses, ego.
One by one. Ego, lust,
Unconscious mind.
mind,
Unconscious
yes,
mind.
unconscious mind. Is that what you said?
Our desires?
Desires. Beautiful answer. Correct. It's our desires. Lust, which is basically our desires. That is the correct answer. This lust or desire for personal enjoyment, like we saw previously, hmm, this lust follows us everywhere. Um, how many of you all are from Mumbai and you guys understand this word called supari?
To
Can
kill
anybody explain
someone.
what? Uh,
To kill someone.
someone. Okay, where somebody is hired to kill you.
To kill
So it's called
someone.
supari then.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, example is like, suppose there is somebody who has been hired to kill you. So, आपकी सुपारी दी गई है. So, this guy who has been assigned to kill you will follow you everywhere, huh? Everywhere that you go and find that one opportunity and kill you. Similarly, the desires, the lust, which is our eternal enemy, they follow us everywhere, and every opportunity that they get, we are killed. ठीक है? So now, if this is our eternal enemy, how do we conquer it? That is the question. But in order to conquer the enemy, we should know where is the enemy, where the enemy stays, where the enemy resides. So this lust resides in our senses, in our mind. How do we conquer? By S. S stands for spiritual knowledge. Just by getting spiritual knowledge, we can conquer this eternal enemy called lust. And now the next chapter is Jnana Yoga, where we will understand a lot of spiritual knowledge. So, with this, we conclude chapter 3. T stands for Tyaga, renunciation. We spoke about true renunciation and fake renunciation. H stands for Humbug, the fake pretender. R stands for rungs, the different set of people on the ladder, which was karmis, karmakandis, sakam karma yogis, and nishkam karma yogis. E stands for exemplary. Even if you achieve the nishkam karma yogis, where you're fully beyond the concept of me and mine, and you understand that everything is just temporary, I'm just the custodian, still you continue to do your activities for the sake of setting example for others. Exemplary. Then we came to E, who's our eternal enemy, which is lust, means desires for personal sense gratification. And S is spiritual knowledge. How do we conquer this enemy called lust? So I think I have already covered the practical application during it. Okay, so first chapter we were on the crossroad. Second chapter we understood our true identity and our two dharmas from which we become Atmaram. And in the third chapter, we understand that we still need to continue to work We don't give up our work, our duties, and our possessions, but we continue to work, and in that way we give up our mentality of ownership. Yeah. So in this week, till the next class when we meet for chapter 4, I would recommend that you guys can try in your daily life, that wherever you see a sense of belongingness, okay, or a sense of ownership, you remind yourself that I am just the custodian. This is just a temporary thing which has been awarded to me. With that, so many things will be taken care of. The first one, topmost, being envy, greed, lust. All of this is taken care of, because if this is not mine, okay, if this is just temporary, I am not gonna fight for it. I'm not gonna make arrangements to improve it. For example, I'm living in this hotel. I'm not gonna come and put photo frames of mine and my family over here or start to paint all of this. No, I'm not gonna do that, because I know in 2 days I need to leave from here. It is just temporary. So similarly, when we understand, we see that our job, our family, our things, all of this is temporary, awarded to me, and we just need to use it in the service of the person who has actually awarded to us, and then we can live a very happy, peaceful life without any uh, envy, any greed, and any lust. So, Hare Krishna, and thank you so much for your time and attention and your contribution and participation. If anybody has any questions, comments, please feel free to unmute yourself.